Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. This is the fourth time I've attempted to record this Dahlia video. Clearly, the universe just does not want to listen today. So, first things first, let's go explore Dahlia. She is the Fox Enchantress. She is a Doomsday, a Royal, she is a Celestial, and a Phantom. So what does that mean? So Doomsday will reflect back damage equal to the ally team's reflect rate times by the ally team's attack rate times by 12%. You also can heal as well. So you heal 30, or you've got 50% chance of healing 30% HP back every time you're attacked, or every time you take damage. Sorry. So you can heal back some of the damage done. Royals, very, very powerful faction. You should really be running 5 Royals on all teams. Sometimes there might be a use case where you run chest, and that is chest or Leandra, something like that. But at the start of battle, all allies receive shield equal to 200% of their own attack for 2 rounds, and at each stack of buff an ally unit gets increases their damage boost and damage reduction by 4% up to 20 stacks, which is up to 80% damage reduction and 80% damage increase. Very, very powerful, which is why running 5 Royals is probably a very, very good thing for your team. Next thing, Celestials. Really, you only need 2 Celestials. When an ally unit dies, purifies all debuffs on all allies and dispels all buffs from all enemies. So having 2 Celestials on any team is probably your best bet. Now, at the start of battle, increases crit rate by 15% and attack by 50% for all allies. That goes up to 150% attack. Very, very powerful. And finally, a very slept on but very powerful synergy as well, Phantoms. Usually you'll have 3. When an ally dies, one other random fallen ally is revived, restoring 10% of max HP, and it can be triggered once per battle per unit. So it's 5 revives in total, technically. But if you've only got 3 Phantoms on the team, can be a bit less. Now, when an ally dies, 2 other random fallen allies are revived, restoring 30% of max HP, and can be triggered twice per battle. So effectively, you'll get, if you have full 5 full 5 Phantoms, you can get 10 revives in total, so it can be very strong. Something to note, she is also part of the Ecliptus synergy, so when a negative Moonglow is above 1, defense and max HP of all allies are increased by 200%. Can be very, very strong, but not relevant to this particular video, because this is not about Season 7. This is about Dahlia in general at 10 stars. So what does she do at 10 stars? Well, she deals 540% magic damage to all enemies, increasing damage by 100% against male characters. This doesn't come in handy altogether too often, because there aren't that many male characters in this game, for reasons. But there are boss monsters which are male, and she does exceptionally powerful damage against those, but really the 540 is the one that you're looking at. Again, Dahlia deals up to 144% magic damage to frontline enemies, increased damage of 100% against male characters. A lot of people were hung up about that male character thing. It's just there as a little add-on. She actually does really massive damage, and it's because of this passive here. So, Fox Blossom is her first active passive. Switches positions with an ally before each action. So if you can get her to take multiple actions, she's going to swap multiple times. Very, very strong. For each additional 1 buff stack, attack is increased by 30% and max HP is increased by 60%, affecting both the swapped ally and self up to 50 stacks. No time limit on these stacks. They are just there for the remainder of the game. They do not disappear when, say, you get debuffed by the Celestials. They stay. Now you can get up to a maximum of 1500% attack and a maximum of 3000% HP with Dahlia and the unit that she swaps with. If you've got her on the back row, that can also mean that the entire back row will gain 1500% and 3000% HP. So depending on where you place Dahlia is where you're going to get the most out of her. Usually you want her in slot 2 along with a very powerful unit in slot 1, and we'll go through a couple of different team builds for that as well. But for now, just leave it at say for example, if you have 10 stacks of buffs on your unit when Dahlia attacks, she will swap with that unit and they will gain 300% attack and they will gain 600% HP. That is no joke. That is a very, very powerful thing and builds up very quickly up to those 50 stacks. Now, when swapping positions with Dahlia, the ally has 100% chance to copy her buffs. Very, very strong, really powerful, especially if you are building Dahlia up and you are on a team which relies on buff stacking, like Halissa, for example, Arthur, Elisha, Gaia. All of those units apply those attack stacks, HP stacks, damage reduction stacks, damage increase stacks. A lot of stuff goes on with the stacks, and you need, well, Dahlia works very well in the current meta. Now, because I've only got her at 10 stars and not 11 stars, I haven't bothered to go up for legendary talents with her yet. You can do, but it's kind of redundant because you miss out. So it increases reflect rate by 30%, and what Dahlia does at 11 and 12 stars respectively, every 1% increase in reflect rate additionally increases attack by 1%, and again the same is true at 12 stars, so you've got to be getting an additional, if you go up to legendary, 60% attack and 60% additional attack for Dahlia for free if you get those legendary talents and you have her at 12 stars. I do not, and I'm not chasing her. There are other units that I need to prioritize. Now, for her runes, I did have all heal runes as well, and she was pretty much immortal at that point. She really, really powerful. She healed an additional 45% and also healed an additional 20% at the start of every round. Was really strong, but as fate would have it, all of my Purify gave me DPS unique. So that is what Dahlia has now, is DPS unique. Does work very well, plays into her synergy and plays into her attacks as well. She becomes very, very powerful with these DPS runes and can also apply, when Enfeeble is applied, there's a 50% chance to proc. Well, it says apply Enfeeble to the enemies for 1 round, which means it lowers their, so they're not able to receive buffs. So that's the hindrance that you see. So if an ally triggers Purify, Lily and Leah come to mind, they do that on action. They apply Enfeeble, so they get the hindrance effect that you see for 1 round. Very, very strong. Her actual runes, if you have no exclusive runes for Dahlia, she's going to grant immunity against the plague effect to all allies. Very strong. Now, if you do have her runes, the inherently charming Dahlia has 33% chance to double the buffs she receives. So say, for example, if you get a stack of Holy Shield, she's got 33% chance to get 2 stacks of Holy Shield rather than 1. If, for example, you were to get 20 stacks of Holy Shield at a time, she will get 40, or she has 33% chance to with her runes. If you have her 2-2, like I do, that goes up to 50% chance, becomes a bit more reliable then at the 2-2 mark. And if you have 4 out of 4 legendary Dahlia runes, she gains 100% chance to double the number of buffs she receives, so becomes exceptionally powerful. So you could evolve these two, and you could get her up to full red. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to chase that. If it comes to me, it comes to me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that is Dahlia in a nutshell. So let's jump in and let's see how well she does. Ooh, there you go. So this is a team that, just making sure it was recording. Now this is a team that some of you might recognise. And the 2 that you might recognise, or the 3 that you might recognise, Seraphina, Atrops and Astrid. The reason that this combo works so well, Seraphina will go first, Atrops will go second, Astrid will allow Atrops to effectively double ult, which is very powerful for Atrops because she can apply the Watcher's Pledge twice, which will increase the damage significantly. Now, Gaia is in here solely for the speed reduction, but let's go ahead and have a look at how this combo will function. The reason that Dahlia works so well in this is because she will copy the number of buffs that Atrops has, increasing her attack and HP as well, but primarily increasing her attack, which allows for Atrops to do massive damage, or at least give out massive attack increases. As you can see, all of those buffs increase in there. and we do get the increased damage as well from the Royal faction. We get the increased crit damage and attack from the Celestial faction that we've got going on, and Atrops will double ult here, allowing for massive, massive damage. Look at the damage that, yeah, 23,000 million from Astrid, and that's single target damage. Dahlia will probably do much more. We'll see. I know Gaia will take these two out. Yeah, 17,000 million. Missed on Merlin, but that's fine because Dahlia will clean up here, doing 17,000 million again to Merlin. So this team doing absolutely crazy amounts of damage. Yeah, Astrid, 121,000 million on her active attack. It's mental. It is mental, the amount of damage. Dahlia doing 270. This is non-seasonal content. Yeah, and Gaia to do the most, of course, as is always the way. But you can see why increasing and copying the buffs of certain particular units will yield in far better results. Now let's go ahead and have a look at Dahlia in PvE with a full Dooms team. So let's go ahead, take out our relics here. We'll pop in you, and you. And then we'll go ahead and build ourselves a Dooms team. Now, you do want Ayushta on the team. The reason that you want Ayushta on the team, where have you gone? Oh, you're already in there. The reason you want Ayushta on the team is because of the Phantom synergy. So if Dahlia dies, she's got a chance at coming back. I typically love running Arthur in this team. He's just top notch. For me anyway, I think he is. And we'll also put Doris in here. So we've got 3 strikers in the form of Cleo, Doris and Arthur. We've got 2 Phantoms in Dahlia and Ayushta. We have the full 5 Doomsdayers because of Cleopatra. We have 4 Royals, 3 Celestials, 2 Phantoms, 1 Deviant in the form of Ayushta. Again, if you don't have Doris either full red or half red, you could run Ophelia in this spot and you'd be absolutely fine. You just lose out on that striker damage. But for now, Doris will do. And I think that we'll see Arthur and Dahlia pop off here. Again, we want to build up as much as possible with Arthur. And the easiest way to do that would be through Dahlia. She'll copy all of the buffs that she has and put them on Arthur, and then she has a chance to double the number of buffs that she receives as well. So as you can see, we've got a double buff increase here, another double buff increase there, and then when she switches with Arthur like that, she's going to copy all of her buffs and put them on Arthur, which means that he's going to get absolutely crazy strong really quickly. Really quickly. So as you can see, we're having no difficulty with this particular stage. Enemies aren't really going to be able to get through our Holy Shield, and we're still doing 1,000 million. It's still a lot of damage. Arthur doing much more damage, as you can see. Dahlia, I think, is going to clean sweep. Yeah, pretty much she's doing 5,000 million without copying Atrops, without copying Cleo. Very strong. Even Doris doing a lot there. And that's partially to do with the striker synergy, but more along the lines of every time we get hit, we add a buff on, and then Dahlia will increase the number of. Dahlia will increase those stacks as well whenever she attacks. So, pumping up Arthur, pumping up herself. She's really strong. And again, 4,000 million on secondary attack. Again, very powerful. Very strong unit, especially when you've got a lot of buff stacking as well. So bear with me, I'm just going to pause, jump into PvP, and then we'll take it from there. And here we are. So this is the team that I run quite frequently in 1v1 PvP. And the reason for that is because of the amount of buffs that we get. So we get buffs from Elisha, we get buffs from Victoria, we get buffs from Arthur, we get buffs from Dahlia as well. So let's jump in, just see how well this team does. Again, I run it reasonably frequently because Arthur is usually the last one standing, and he usually deals too much reflect damage for the enemies to handle. But might not be the case with the enemy Monarch synergy. But we'll just have to see. So we do start to remove holy shields. We start to increase our attack and HP as well with all of the crits that we're going to get. We do, unfortunately, are up against an enemy with a 3-star banner. So they are applying those stacks of holy shield, but hopefully we'll be able to remove those stacks of holy shield reasonably quickly. So we do get our chest here. We get our increased crit rate as well. These are all buffs that Dahlia will copy. Again, the same is true for all of these buffs. So double the number of buffs that are applied to Dahlia. She will then, when she takes action, she will copy those onto Arthur. So if we have a look over here, we've already started to build up quite drastically. We've got a lot of attack increases. We've got a lot of HP increases. And even here, a lot. Yeah, so a lot of the a lot of the damage done here will be negated because of the HP and attack increases. We do take a lot of HP off Dullham, and we take shields off Talos here. So we are nearly. They're doing a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. Fortunately, when we deal reflect damage, Arthur will increase our attack and HP, so we will start to do a lot more damage. We'll be able to take a lot more as well. So if we have a look at the stacks now, we're up to 50. We're nearly up to 50 stacks for Arthur, and we're nearly up to the 50 stacks for Dahlia as well. So again, after this round, I think we will be in business. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so we've gone up to 50 stacks, 50 stacks, 50 stacks, and we're just constantly building up. Once this team gets going, it is a snowball, and you cannot stop it. Victoria to do the most here, of course, but Dahlia contributing heavily to that as well. Very, very powerful teams, very good for PvP. The only teams that really beat it are Aphrodite and Gaia as well, allowing units to go first before you get to the chance to stack up. That is a very powerful effect, and stealing enemies or stealing the enemy team, also very powerful. But Dahlia is still relevant, still very, very strong. But that's it. That's the review. So let me know how it's going for you. What do you think of Dahlia? Is she still relevant? Do you think she'll be relevant moving forward? And then let me know if you've had any success pulling her. Thanks very much for watching. You have a great day.